Peace. Peace to you. Anyway, this is a table saw. This is my miter, which helps to make crosscuts. Table saws really stink at making crosscuts. If you have something simple like this stick and you want to cut it, okay, that's a piece of cake. Dang, I look fat. It's just the camera, really. However, if something a little more interesting, like this, and you need a little 4-inch square piece from it, okay, great. So what do you do? Well, first, you have to measure the old-fashioned way. 4 inches. Make your mark. And start to push it. And as you see, it's wiggling all over the place because it's kind of big for this. So you end up holding it oddly, and you know what? It's not safe. You got could put blade protector up, but still you're working on anyway, forget that part. There are reasons. What I'm about to show you is safer. I'm not sure what. Now, if you're going to do repeatable cuts, in other words, if you need, let's say you need 4 of these 4x4 squares. Well, you can't really mark 4 lines, 3 lines, whatever it is, and cut your 4 pieces across. A lot of us do. A lot of us have. But you have a kerf, right? The thickness of that blade is your kerf. So if your line is exactly on the 4-inch mark and you cut it exactly down the middle, then that is exactly 1/8, which is exaggerating. Let's say a 1/16 of an inch. So that's, if that's 1/16, you're going to have 1/32 on each side of that line. So you're cutting 3 inches and 31/32, something like that. Not quite 4 inches. So if you want to be more careful, you have to cut it first, leaving that line, and then measure again, another 4 inches. Measure, cut it, measure again, cut it, measure again. It's a pain in the butt. Besides, it's all wiggling around, so it's not even accurate anyway. So if we could get rid of all this and find a better way, we would love to. So what we do is we make something like this big box you mentioned, which happens to have a rail on the bottom. Some people build them with 2, but there's a reason to not do that. But anyway, I'm going to put this on my table saw. The runner is, of course, in my miter slot. The blade is in its own kerf. It made its own kerf, right? That blade is going to stay in that kerf forever. I don't have to count for it because if I start my work on this edge of wood, which is really easier to do anyway than the metal, and you'll notice I put, why did I put the, don't know how visible that is, but I very carefully lined up this tape so that the 0 is exactly on the edge of that wood, not in the middle, on the edge. And the same thing over here, which obviously that's not 21, it's just what I had left. So to go that way, so that's 1, 2, 3. Anyhow, so that makes life so simple. And you're probably wondering why, how, whatever. I watched a ton of videos about it. Been putting off doing this forever. I'm so glad I finally did. Oh, by the way, this funny little extra box here, that's just, it's like a warning to don't ever put your hands here. That's the blade. That's where the blade comes through. If I go too far, it'll cut right through there, which is fine. But at any rate, so here's our weird piece of wood. I'm going to put it down here. Here's my tape measure. Throw it away. I'm on the 4-inch mark. Very smooth. I'm nowhere near the blade, so I'm going to grab the wood. So we got exactly 4 inches. Want to do it again now? There you go. That's the 4-inch square. And those dado cuts I showed you, that's why I had to adjust the blade real quick because I forgot I had it set to that. But I'm just going to drop my blade down. Just to cut a sample or two. Let's say I wanted the dado I don't know, to go over this. That's all the measuring I'm going to do. Where am I? Oh. Okay, there we go. So you see the line, I put it right on the edge of the wood. Piece of cake. Man, it's so easy, I can't believe it. No tape measure. And I'm going to cut to oops. Hard to see it through the camera for me, but right about there wherever it stops. So let's see how long that takes. I don't think... Alright, I want you to see this just so you know how long it takes. So I'm going to put this back. Okay. Ta-da! Isn't that beautiful? Does that wood fit in there? Who could ask for anything more? Anyway, there's 1,000, okay, there's several other really cool features about this thing. One's the repeatability. When I mentioned having to remeasure each kerf to cut 4-inch squares. Here's what you do on this thing. I haven't made a stop yet. I'll put on some nice kind of stuff, but for now I'm going to use a block. It's that simple. I put it on the 4-inch mark. I grab our bizarre little piece of wood. I take it up to the block. I forget again that the blade is set for day night. Four. I hope you could hear my talking with all that vacuum noise on. 4 identically cut. Can't even see the line there. Anyway, I love it. It's awesome. It made this piece of junk table pretty useful. But even on the best table in the world, you're going to want a crosscut sled similar to this. There's going to be some other features on this one, like well, it's a long story, but make it, this bottom part is going to be able to slide out for when I do use a real data blade, you know, which they're whatever about that thick. So this bottom part can be slid over, notch, tighten them down, do my dados, and then slide it back together, tighten. It's really cool. It's a Woodcraft design or one of those, I don't know. The video snapshot I sent you the other day. But anyway, it's been fun, man. And like I say, this is all the camera.